Dog and pony show. The rinse, spin, and repeat betrayal of the Democrats have once again shown their true colors with their silence and betrayal on the American Families Act. This is not just another legislative failure. It's a carefully orchestrated dog and pony show designed to rinse, spin, and repeat the same tired excuses. Our representatives can no longer pretend that their actions benefit the people. This is about profits for the elite and the correctional centers that prey on systemic failures. The American Families Act. A bill for citizens, not just spouses. The American Families Act is not simply about immigrant families or spouses. It is a bill for American citizens who have been systematically ignored. This legislation was meant to provide meaningful tax relief to struggling citizens, expand access to child care and health care for families in crisis, address housing insecurity, and wage inequity head-on. Yet even now, Democrats aren't screaming for its passage. Instead, they quietly enable corporate interests and prison profiteers while leaving citizens to fend for themselves. This bill isn't just about immigration. It's about ensuring our own citizens are given the dignity and support they deserve. Democrats playing the same game time and time again. We're told that Democrats represent the working class, but their actions tell a different story. Here are the key players in this betrayal. House Democrats Representative Abigail Spanberger, a master of fiscal conservatism at the expense of struggling families. Representative Josh Gottheimer, loyal to Wall Street, not Main Street. Representative Henry Cuellar, the poster child for abandoning progressive ideals. Representative Jim Costa, silent when his district needs him most. Senate Democrat Senator Joe Manchin, the perennial obstacle to progress, always in favor of corporate interests. Senator Kyrsten Sinema cynically plays both sides while prioritizing donor dollars. Senator Mark Kelly, quiet compliance in the face of urgent needs. Senator Chris Coons, a yes man for the status quo, leaving his constituents behind. The cost of hypocrisy. While Democrats remain silent on the American Families Act, they have no problem advancing other costly legislation. Consider this. The Laken Riley Act will cost $850 billion over 10 years, funneling money into mandatory detention and the private prison industry. Amnesty provisions within the American Families Act are projected to cost $1.5 trillion. Yet these same Democrats now try to paint it as a handout for elites and correctional centers. This blatant hypocrisy highlights where their priorities truly lie, with corporate profits and prison executives, not with the American people. Profiting off citizens' misery, the refusal to pass the American Families Act comes down to one ugly truth. It's more profitable for correctional centers and elite institutions to perpetuate poverty and insecurity. These centers thrive on failures in healthcare, housing, and immigration systems, funneling billions into private pockets while families suffer. Detention centers. The rise in mandatory detention fills private prison coffers. Healthcare costs. Preventable issues drain family resources while insurers profit. Housing crises. Soaring rents and evictions keep corporate landlords in power. The impact on American citizens, let's be clear. The victims of this betrayal are American citizens. This is not a bill solely for immigrants or spouses. This is about ensuring our own people have access to basic rights and services. By failing to act, Democrats are forcing families to choose between food and rent, leaving parents without affordable child care, condemning children to generational poverty. Call to action. Stop the dog and pony show. We're done listening to excuses. The American Families Act is not a controversial bill. It's common sense. Here's what we demand. Immediate action. Pass the bill without delay. End the lies. Stop pretending this is about fiscal responsibility. It's about greed. Accountability. Name every Democrat who voted against this bill and demand they explain their betrayal. Final thoughts. The American Families Act is for our citizens. It's time to stop playing games and start delivering results. If the Democratic Party continues this rinse, spin, and repeat strategy, they will lose the very base they claim to represent. Enough is enough. The people are watching, and we will not forget who stood by while Americans suffered.